Neal. And we started with, the portrait caricature, as we call them, getting Portnoy. And my background is sports, so across the country I'm pretty well known as a sports illustrator. I was the official artist at the Basketball Hall of Fame for 4 years, doing the covers of their enshrinement, the lithograph, etc. Magic markers, I used to do pen and ink. And pen and ink, if you're familiar with that medium, is a lot of crosshatch. To get it dark, you got to do a lot of crosshatch. And then one day I looked around and I found this thing, and they called it a Sharpie marker. And I could fill in all that area with one stroke. I went, I kind of like this. And then I found out they came in colors. And I was like in heaven, and then I researched and I work with a number of different brands of markers. But I don't know if people here in Vegas know the name Ed Foster. Ed Foster is a 94-year-old photographer, master photographer in town, and a former college art professor. And he came up with the greatest line anyone has ever said about me. He said, what Neal Portnoy does in the medium in which he does it is like a ballerina trying to dance on a trampoline. Now put that in perspective. Unlike oils, acrylics, and watercolors where you can change colors and you can mix colors, you can dilute colors, marker is a stain. So once you put it down, it's down. You can't change it. So being a former athlete, you must have been an athlete, I can tell, you don't want to lose, correct? You want to win. So every new illustration that I do, I've got to win. I don't want to lose. I don't want to make a mistake. And even though when I cross over to do a lot of portrait work, a lot of illustration portrait, I'm not trained. I have no formal training, so I'm not trained in anatomy, but I am a caricature artist. In caricature, every line is an expression. So when you look at a portrait, there's always caricature in it. But magic marker is a unique and very difficult medium to work with. I usually work on Bainbridge cold press illustration board, and marker, like other mediums, will bleed. So you gotta look for the bleed, you gotta allow for the bleed. You look at certain pieces like the Queen, there's 4 stages of Queen Elizabeth. There are no black lines in that illustration. Everything is a shape. So we were talking earlier today. If you had my eyes for 10 minutes, you wouldn't believe what I see.
He said that he sees everything in shapes.
Everything is shapes. Everything is shapes. But it's like a musician. If I had their ears, I wouldn't believe what they hear. So it's no different. As a former college pitching coach, and I did that for 15 years, I used to tell my players, listen, ability you're born with. I can't teach you ability. What you can learn is technique. And how do you enhance technique? You do it again, you do it again, you do it again. I'm a lot older than you think I am because bald guys look younger, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just throw that out there. But I played ball 50 years ago, so that'll give you a little indication of the age here. But I'm here all night for the next hour or so to answer questions anybody has any. And this is very rewarding for me because we've been in Vegas now 7 years. My wife Dorothy and I came from Boston. She came from New York with a dream. We knew one person when he arrived 7 years ago. And now, if you've been Portnoy, you've arrived in Las Vegas. Clam chowder. Listen, if you want me to park the car in the Harvard Yard next to the harbor, I'll talk about
So Neal, for someone who doesn't like to make mistakes,
Yep.
you come from that background.
Sure.
You chose a medium that you can't make mistakes. It's not like paint where you can just blend it away. So when you're working on series like this, as you guys can see, there's a few of each, right? We have some musicians, we have animals, and so on. So when you go into it, do you think, oh, this is what I'm gonna do? Do you have that in mind beforehand so you don't make the mistake, or do you just pen to paper and
No, I go pen to paper, and a lot of times what a lot of artists, young artists, don't understand is you don't always work right side up. I'll turn the illustration upside down. Why? I don't want to look at 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. What do I want to look at?
The shapes?
Shapes.
He loves
So
the shapes,
everything
then.
is shapes. So anyone who wants to use these glasses later, you'll find out what I'm looking at.
I don't think they'll be able to create what you did just by putting on the glasses.
But a very, very, very unique medium. Now that you understand the medium I'm working, look closely at the pieces. Look a little closer, you'll see.
Yeah. So one I wanted to show everyone tonight is one that's very near and dear to your heart, and it's different than what you usually do.
It's very different.
Very different. So let's show this one off. I love this one.
Yes.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
Gorgeous, right? Pen and paper.
One of my, Miami, we've sent a number of originals to Park West, to Miami to get framed up. The originals, again, never been taken out, never been seen, never been framed. And I've done Manarola, Italy, Venice, Italy, Nice, France, the Alps in France, and just recently did Portugal in this style. I never want to look at another rock again in my life.
It's truly incredible what you're able to create with such a simple tool, right?
I'm sorry.
So
Unique is the word.
unique is the word,
You know,
and this is unique.
It's very unique. If you get a chance, come up closely and look at the piece.
Please do. You'll see those small strokes, and
Yep.
it's something you cannot take back. He makes it, and it's there for good. There's no take backs, right?
Correct. And somebody said to me once, when you do these multi-image things, and I've done a lot of sports work, the greatest names in Bills histories and Cowboy history and the Patriots. I've done like 9 NFL teams. They always say to me, why don't you put yourself in the picture? And I said, I'm not Hirschfeld from the New York Times and I'm going to put Nina in my drawing. It's just not going to happen. Not yet, but it may.
One day.
One day it will happen.
Awesome. Well, you guys, we have so many works up here to show of Neal's. In a little bit, we are going to put these green tags on each work. Now, this is different than an auction, right? So at an auction, this is gonna have a starting bid and it goes up from there. Tonight and tonight only, there will be a tag on it for the opening VIP event pricing. You bring it to any of my associates and they will claim it as yours. It's done, it's sold, first come, first serve. So if you know what you want.
After that?
You sure
Come on.
can. It's your art. So, and he's here. Ask him questions. Take advantage. This is something you don't normally get to do. Even at a VIP event with Park West, they're so wonderful, but you know how they all go, right? It's a weekend-long event, and you don't get this kind of exposure with the artists. So we're really excited to have you here, and just another congratulations to you. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Do you get free Sharpie markers?
That's up to Neal.
Wait a minute. Is this how Park West does it? $5. Next bid.